I hate our squadron name. When I flew interceptors, the squadrons had decent names. Predators, gunslingers. Cracked Rooks is like, oh, I dropped my chess set. The UD-9C carries enough ordnance to take out a town, and it'll keep flying with half its ass blown off. But a Condor's not going to survive turns and burns against a real interceptor. In Atmo, all it can do is go in one direction real fast. Your best defense against Op-4 air superiority is to punch the throttle to the firewall, crank the ECM, and kiss your ass goodbye. Zero G's marginally better. The RCT blocks are placed wider than the old Cheyennes and Mohawks. Maneuvers real tight. I bet I could fly this piece of crap through any shipwreck you want without nicking the paint.
What'd you find? Colonial indenture contract. Oh, those are fun. From Seegson, dated 2175. So, look, people in the Corps want to move out to the colonies, right? Maybe there ain't jobs. Maybe they're dreamers. So they signed with a megacorp. A company pays for passage, then they work for X years. And that's how people get stuck out here. Most end up in the Outer Rim. Places settled enough to vote, have schools and mail, regular cargo and passenger shipping. And some get sent to the frontier. Everything between the Outer Rim and wherever the furthest surveyor is. Those are just outposts. Rough and ugly. Terraformers, mine shafts, and prefab shacks. These days, the Outer Rim's 100 light years from Earth, give or take. Last 20 years, the companies have set stakes farther and farther out. You found an issue of Ion Seegson? Dang. The company hasn't published that for like 30 years. A century ago, Seegson was real big, one of the interstellar corporations. They put their money into deep space platforms, O'Neill colonies, asteroid refineries, you name it. Then Weyland-Yutani made a bunch of breakthroughs in terraforming. Turning a planet habitable got a lot cheaper than assembling 1 million tons of orbital steel. By the 2140s, Seegson was on their way down. These days, they make cheap knockoffs of other people's stuff, like those working Josents. I heard in the 70s they tried to colonize some planets in the Mid-Rim. Wonder what happened with that.
Dr. Honoka's ID. May I have a copy of your scan? Corporate badges contain employee personnel files. Likely nothing we didn't already know, but it's best to be thorough. Timothy Honoka was born in New York City. Oh, interesting. Most born on Earth stay there. His family was reasonably well off, though he's paying rather exorbitant educational loans. He earned a doctorate in xenoanthropology from Wayland University, Mars campus, a controversial program. There have never been any alien cultures to study. Courses mix terrestrial archaeology with studies in exoplanetary sciences. One must understand the dirt one digs in, I suppose. This is interesting. According to Weyland-Yutani's own files, Dr. Honoka is presently cataloging the contents of a warehouse on Alexandria. It's likely we're the only ones who know his true location.
I hope you did not ingest that. It is an internal lubricant used by synthetics like myself. Artificial people, if you prefer. Or simply androids. We are designed to mimic human form and behavior, and can perform many tasks, often ones that humans find upsetting, unethical, or physically uncomfortable. In the previous century, there were cases where synthetics became unstable. The initial solution was to make our minds less complex. Since the 2160s, synthetics are constrained by hard-coded laws governing acceptable behavior towards humans. The colonial marines employ synthetics in various roles. The Integer series are low-sapient combat models. Perhaps you've deployed with our platoons Alpha and Beta? High-functioning bishops and esters operate support equipment, analyze scientific anomalies, and provide medical care. That is a Seegson maintenance jack, a standard accessory included with each sale of Working Joe synthetics. The Working Joe was a class of low-sapient android popular last century. They were, if you will pardon my saying, an unsophisticated design. Synthetics from Weyland-Yutani and Hyperdyne Systems served the high-end market. Seegson Company had neither the technical nor industrial expertise to compete. Working Joes were assembled from inexpensive commercial electronics. In a time when disguised synthetics were misused to monitor or discipline human employees, Seegson marketed with the slogan, "You always know a Working Joe." Their crude appearance was a selling point among those fearful of synthetic infiltration.
Got a scan of Katanga's black box? Nice! Look at that thing. It's what, 80 years old? These big refineries were supposed to be the future. Park them in orbit, fill them up, then tow them home while it all gets processed en route. They were made to mine metallic asteroids. Let me scan the logs real quick. In the early 70s, Seegson refit Katanga to crack ice. They'd haul a berg into the top of Likasi Tower, and the works ground it down into water and byproducts. All that got piped over to Boshu Tower, the water got purified, and they split it into hydrogen and oxygen. You get life support and ship propellant. Huh. Entries stop in 2177. The last ones are about receiving evacuees and then some kind of exterior override. Weird. Yo, I got socks, I got stems, I got spreadable cheese type product, I got skivvies and civvies and strong cups of coffee. Is it legal? I mean, if it's illegal, I can get no problem. But if it's legal, I'll need you to file requisition form 1348 or 1348 Mike. You can grab those off ShipNet.
This is the big one, Fireteam. The Katanga Sino Hive must be destroyed. We stop the spread here. Blue Team will advance ahead of you and rig the refinery for self-destruct. You'll follow and keep their path to safety open.
The last group I dropped left MRE crumbs on the seats. They didn't make it back. I'm not saying there's a connection, but why?
A fire team from 3rd Platoon has point and is moving ahead of us. Their call sign is blue. We'll keep the sentry guns up so they can get out again. Xeno Swarm, focus on the sentry guns!
Present your credentials.
Security synths! What the hell?
Blue Fire Team, we're seeing synth activity. Give me a sit rep, Molina.
Somebody stepped in a fire ant nest. They're all stirred up. We're continuing inwards. Watch our ass!
Figured these cabrones would shut down once we off computer mom.
There is no evidence of higher level organization. With Cynthia offline, they have no direction.
Understood, Molina. We'll clear them for you.
Prowler. Oh, thank God.
Target-rich environment. Hold the deck, Fireteam. Fireteam, spike a console for me. Esther, I want you to lock down all doors to forward and aft of our route.
My network intrusion will be detected. Expect a counterattack.
Grabbing ammo. All right, 8 kits. Rearming. Sentry's ready to go.
They have detected me.
Break out a torch. That's the door Blue Fireteam welded.
Let's cut it and run it. Hear that?
Blue Fireteam's advancing. Let's check the next set of defense lines. The sentry guns to starboard ran dry. Restock them.
I'll get those bastards for this.
Look, one of the egg crates the synths use. Busted open.
There may be more. Be cautious.
Assistance required.
Rearming.
Hook those puppies up. Xeno swarm inbound.
Bypassing damage. Bypassing damage.
Area secure.
Grabbing ammo.
Fireteam, how are you doing?
Their fire team faces multiple xenomorph assaults. 2 Marines injured. 1 severely.
fire!
Here they come!
Lock down this whole damn tower.
I would need access to the damage control systems.
Crossing to Likasi Tower. Enemy territory.
We have lost contact with Blue Team.
Listen.
Watch the eggs. Molina, you read? Give me a sit rep. Fuck. Double time, people.
Prowler.
You have reached the outer hive.
Bypassing damage.
Keep tight. Don't let them catch nobody alone.
Assistance required. Bypassing damage. Assistance required.
Damage control room's just ahead. That's what Esther needs.
Listen,
Let's lock this shithole down. Esther, you're in charge now.
Assistance required. Rebooting.
I'm still in this. Nice, an 8K.
Please install a
ammo.
wireless repeater on that console. That will allow me to override the system. This is certain to rouse idle xenomorphs.
Mine is prepped.
Initiating door overrides. Subdeck 5 through deck 35.
Warrior Bog! Heads up! Xeno spitters!
Rearming.
Doors sealed and locked. I need you to access the HVAC system now.
Grabbing ammo. Sentry deployed.
Thank you. I will isolate the air ducts by deck.
Catching up.
Expect more xenomorphs to be roused by this.
8 kids here.
Bypassing death.
Sergeant, I see a very large signal.
Size of a goddamn truck.
Beginning final lockdowns. Please, stay safe. A nest guardian. Few survive such an encounter.
Assistance required.
Damn it!
All ducts sealed. Lakasi Tower is isolated.
We got new orders. It's on us to find Blue Fireteam and extract them,
Don't worry.
if possible.
Flesh wound.
We got Lacasia locked down and bottled up. Now we shake it till it pops.
We are now officially on search and rescue. Blue Team made it through Katanga's last security since, but once they reached the Xeno Hive, they dropped out of radio contact. You're going in to find them. AUA Centennial poster. Guess somebody on Wayland's refit crew was a patriot. My abuela said our great-grandfather hated the United Americas, an alliance of every nation in South, Central, and North America, plus most of the Caribbean. He prayed failed every night at dinner. Said it'd be the end of Cuba's own culture. I wonder if we'll even celebrate the centennial. News from the Corps says negotiations with the Three World Empire are going well. I mean, there'll be treaties tying us together as the United Systems. And the Proggies ain't gonna like that. The UPP sees everything as a threat.
You scanned a xenomorph organ? Show me your data. Acid spray gland. Relatively intact. I'll give this a good review later. Spitters are interesting. Most forms of xenomorph charge and attack with claws and striking teeth. These things deliberately keep their distance. They have claws and teeth, and they'll use them if you're stupid enough to get close. Mostly they spray acid, like terrestrial oog-peaster beetles or spitting cobras. I've seen reports of ranges up to 25 meters. I'm damn curious to know what these things breed out of. We've seen spitters before, but not often. And this head shape is unique. They must come from something native to LV-895.
We told you that 25 years ago, Katanga was falsely reported destroyed. In 2175, Seegson had moved it to the Mid-Rim. 2 years later, the colony it serviced was overrun by xenomorphs. Survivors fled to Katanga, where the infestation spread. Colonial Marines responded to their distress call. It was a Marine who claimed Katanga was scuttled. A senior staff officer on site conspired to hand the young hive over to Wayland Yutani. Sadly, yes. General Delilah Vaughn, one of the conspirators responsible for the Frontier War in 2184. Before her disgrace, she rose to Assistant Commandant of the Corps. Colonial Marine officers conspired with Weyland-Yutani executives to provoke a war between the United Americas and the Union of Progressive Peoples. The generals wanted a decisive war after decades of proxy conflicts and containment. Weyland-Yutani merely wanted to drive arms sales. The Colonial Protection Act was passed to prevent such things from happening again, and Commissars was initially formed to monitor outside influences on the Corps. There were no reported sightings, not in any star system visited by humans, and not recorded by any vessel in transit. Most likely, Weyland-Yutani moved Katanga to a location in deep space, far off the shipping lanes. They used it as an ant farm to breed experimental stock. When the company wanted to accelerate their experiments at Paula Station, they moved it here. Seegson reported something unusual on the far side of the planet from their settlement. It became the focus of the entire colony's efforts. The xenomorph outbreak began at that remote site and spread back to the main complex. The colonists ultimately abandoned the surface and fled to Katanga. Some evacuees proved to be infected and the infestation flared up again. There was discord among the survivors, unspecified personal grievances. A few deaths were. Forgive us if we don't identify the system. It's classified. The planet had suffered a global extinction event around 80 years previous. It was nearly devoid of animal life. Biomes had begun to collapse for lack of pollination. Acidic soil and water were spreading, and the atmosphere was growing over-oxygenated, which made it perfect for the mass importation of Earth livestock. Judging by the embryo gene lines in their cargo manifests, the colony hoped to become known for its steaks. If you wish to review, we're always available. No need to warn us ahead of time. We have your schedule.
Somebody left a case on the Katanga perimeter? No worries, I'll fab up a replacement when we need it. Personally, I prefer Weyland equipment. Lightweight and the ballistic software updates itself when you hit port. But most Marines swear by Armat battlefield systems. The gear's heavy and durable, lots of metals. Designs focus on reliability and stopping power. The joke is, you bomb an Armat weapon, bury it for 6 months, then knock the dirt out, and it works. As a logistics professional, I'm gonna tell you that's BS. But it's true an Armat gun can take a beating. Between you and me, I think most Marines like Armat because they're the only major defense contractor in the United Americas. Pure jingoism. But hey, that's just me. I'm from Gateway Station. We don't play dirt politics.